not attempt to adjust your dial. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. It's your boy Big Vern. This is App Stupid, the fastest growing sports and entertainment show on these YouTube streets. You're welcome. Holla. So, we back in the building. So, for the people who are just joining us for the first time, hit the like and subscribe button. Also, share the content. Goes a long way. We appreciate it. Last segment, we talked some Ole Miss. Ole Miss is effectively eliminated from the college football playoffs. There's no case where you can make for them to get in over not only teams in the SEC, but teams in other conferences. So we're going to stay in the SEC. And we're going to go ahead and go with Alabama has effectively been eliminated from the college football championships. There is no way that you can justify putting a 3-loss Alabama team over another team with 3 losses in the SEC, let alone putting them in other conferences. And they were humbled. It's not just that they lost. Anybody can lose a game, but the fact that all of Alabama's points came in the first quarter. The rest of this just fizzled and died. To the point where Oklahoma only took off the first quarter and the last quarter. And hats off to Brent Venables, because that guy, I kept saying Oklahoma wasn't much to see. I was right. They had them ranked early, then they were unranked. But you got to go ahead and give the devil his due. They're 6-5, so they can go ahead and get into a bowl, but they're not going to a college playoff. Now, Alabama, they had to go ahead and keep their hopes alive. I wasn't too, like I said, in this game, I knew Alabama was going to lose. I was like, that's a road game. And the fact that the shocking stats don't do it justice, and I can't remember a time not too long ago in the distant past where Alabama was rushing for under 100 yards. That was their calling card. Power eye football. You line up, we got a back there, the fullback. We're just going to go ahead and have our offensive line bully you, push your front four back, and then bam, we're going to go ahead and break you. That was Alabama football. And to see what it's become now, I mean, it's sad. It's sad. They only had 13 first downs. That's not a quarter. That's not for a half. That's for the game. So it's safe to say that the offensive coordinator will be fired by the end of the season because this hasn't worked out for the Crimson Tide. And I'm sick of seeing them play teams like Mercer, Gathway College, Florida Nightingale. Man, who cares? There's no reason, if the college football committee is telling you that they don't care who you play, then you should play everybody because you want to really have that strength of schedule. Give me a quick 20 from a rap album we're promoting this month. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Studio promoting another rap album. Young Roddy and Jamal, the company you keep, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on the track is Flu Game, Members Only, If You Know, You Know, and We Them Ones. Young Roddy and Jamal, in stores now, the company you keep. Yeah, shout out to Young Roddy doing his thing. So when we go back and we also look at the numbers in Alabama, I can't remember that defense surrendering 200 yards of rushing. That's ghastly. 200 yards of rushing on a historic Alabama's defense. I mean, the guys that they produced out of that defense, and you mean to tell me that Alabama gave up 257 yards on the ground to Oklahoma? Wow. Why pass it? Because, like I say, if we're killing you on the ground and we're just destroying you, and really when you do that, that's when you know Alabama gave up. Alabama gave up after halftime. They just flat out quit. And I don't know what that's going to say about Coach DeBoer. It is what it is. But to give up 257 yards on the ground, That was insane. And Alabama did everything they could do to stay on the field. After the third down efficiency came up 14 times, they converted 7 of those. They even had to take it to the 4th down to even keep those guys on the field. They went for it twice and they were unsuccessful. And it just didn't seem like anything was working. And then you dial up Milrose. Milrose was hitting there. He had himself an interception festival. You put the ball in play too many times against this guy and his skill set. The air raid worked out in the Pac-12. This isn't the Pac-12. It's the SEC. You have to go ahead and when in Rome, do as Romans do. That's not going to fly down there. And why everybody thought they could be the smartest guy in the room. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go get King Womack and his defense. And I kept telling everybody, when he was at Alabama State, I was like, I don't believe in that defense. And trust me, King Womack, he knows enough defense that I've forgotten about in my sleep. But to see the Crimson Tide and what they are right now, chinks in the armor. Chinks in the armor. Wow. This just didn't even... again, can't sit up there and throw... Like I said, they had 26 throws dialed up for Milrose. That's not his skill set. And I'm sorry to say that brother is a 15 to 20, maybe 22 throws max. But when you take him above 22 throws, you put so much out there. 3 interceptions. The run game couldn't get going. There was not an Alabama rusher with over 46 yards. That's shameful. That is shameful. And maybe you can go ahead and call up the Trent Richardsons. Maybe you can call up the Eddie Lacy's. Ingram's got a pretty sweet job at Fox Noon. But you need to call some of the old guys up and then have them as your running backs coach, because this ain't working. And I know some of the people down in Tuscaloosa, they're going to be malevolent and they're going to say, okay, cool. We'll let you fail that first year. But the second year, your job is on the line. The money class, the NIL, when they turn off the coffers and then they run dry, when the cash dries up, they're going to get rid of you because they're not paying for Alabama to be 6-3 or 8-3. And that's crazy that we sit here and we say this, okay, Alabama is having an 8-3 season. But if you go back and you look at all of their wins, Alabama, they beat Missouri. Missouri was overranked. LSU just fell and crashed and burned. They beat Mercer. They lost to Tennessee. They survived against South Carolina. They lost to Vandy. They beat Georgia. They played a Wisconsin team in Luke Fickell that is falling apart and fell off the map. Then they played South Florida and then Western Kentucky. Wow. Again, when you see who they've lost to, their only power win is against Georgia. Their out-of-conference schedule is atrocious. Again, we just got to be real about what we're seeing. And when it comes to they can forget about an SEC championship. A college championship is over with. Look, congratulations to the Oklahoma Sooners. They qualify for a bowl. Alabama's qualified for a bowl. They won't get into the college playoff. This is Big Vern. If I got it wrong, let me know. Jump in the comments. We'll talk about it.